Wait for. Mic check. Yo.
Alright, we rolling.
Oops.
Ooh, damn.
Threw my phone.
Oh, some shit in the background though. Case though. Alright, we rolling. It sounds good too.
It sounds good. Can you hear it? All right. Well, hey. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to GDT Podcast. My name is T Disconnected.
I'm Galaxy. What's going on?
What's going on, man? What's going on this weekend? Got anything going on? Any events going out tonight?
We're gonna go to a bounce house event in DC. It's like an
It's like
adult.
$40. Yeah, I was actually supposed to take someone. Then we got into an argument. And now we're not going.
Yeah, it sounded cool. It's gonna be there for a little while though, so it's not like this is the only week.
I think this was like the last weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well, maybe next time. I saw the pictures online. That thing looked dope, man. Big ass obstacle course. We don't get many of those as adults. It's mostly for the kids.
But I mean, there's always Sky Zone and all those other places.
Yeah, that's true. They around in small sections. So we're gonna do that. Might just chill with the family today. We still figuring it out.
Okay.
This past week has been kind of crazy.
Yeah. I'm hip. I have to catch a plane to Chicago tomorrow.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna be there for a couple of days for work.
That's exciting.
Work, land, and then chill on Sunday. Go to a couple brunches.
Got
See what's
you.
going on out there,
Yeah, work trip, right? So
Yeah.
that's dope, man.
Yep. So,
That's
but
dope.
yeah, man, this week has been crazy. Apparently, there are UFOs that we did not know about in this world.
Well, everybody knew about it.
Yeah,
Just didn't know if it was it was
But
legit.
government actually
Yeah.
discussed.
Yeah, legit CIA whistleblower talking about, there's a secret group that's part of a retrieval program that's picked up more than 12 non-man-made crafts.
Non-man-made.
Yeah, so of non-human origin is how they're wording it. And I really want to bring up the video of the dude saying it, because this is like in Congress now, and this is right after, I don't know if you remember, it was like one of our first episodes. I was talking about how Congress just passed a law that whistleblowers and like NDAs don't matter anymore for these companies. It was about UFO shit. So this is that legislation coming into play, because he wouldn't be able to do this if that law wasn't passed.
Yeah.
So it's kind of getting kind of crazy.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, we're able to see some stuff. I wonder if they've already deconstructed a lot of that
repurposing
alien
shit,
tech, and then the tech we're using today and age is like have you seen Men in Black?
Yeah, exactly.
And then they were like,
how do you think microwaves
alien
technology? Yeah, so that kind of shit, man. So that'll be exciting. I've been keeping my eye on that. That's incredibly interesting, just for those reasons and for everything else about there being life outside of Earth and all that, or adjacent to, or whatever. The sonic boom happened, and I don't think it's so. Apparently, it's normal for places that around military bases, more normal, right? Because hearing that is not super normal for people. Yeah. What were you doing when
I was actually in here playing Breath of the Wild, and I had headphones on and I was listening to music. So my whole house shook.
You're shook?
My whole house shook. No. I thought that my foundation or something. I was like, yo, what happened? Is my house about to collapse? I looked out the window. I Googled, was there just an earthquake? And nothing was popping up. Waited a good 15 minutes, was still searching. And then I started seeing other people on Facebook, on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter saying, hey, did y'all feel that? And I was like, oh, so it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
All right, let me look.
And then, man.
And then, eventually they were like, oh, government's doing testing or a test. And that's what I don't like.
Yeah,
I don't like when people start saying that and the government starts saying that and then they come back and then say, oh, no, it wasn't a test. You're actually following a plan. I'm like, okay, now I know y'all say that for everything. So,
everything's going to be a protocol.
It's not a drill.
Why are we evacuating? It's just a drill. Don't worry about it. You see fire, just don't look at it. Yeah. That's definitely what it felt like. So yeah, we were in the house. Everybody was home, and we're 30 minutes away from you.
Yeah.
So for us, we heard the boom, and it sounded like something fell in our house.
Yeah.
But we didn't feel the shake. So we were like, what the fuck was going on? And I look all around. I'm like, we don't have like dressers that aren't like that are about to just tip over, right? So it's like, what's going on? So I go outside. I'm with neighbors. I like looking around. Like, you know, I live with an older.
Because as you know, the military base where the jet took off is across the street.
Is right next to you. Right. Yeah.
So when that fighter jet took off and hit that sonic boom,
it was like, yeah, you felt it.
Yeah, I felt it. I was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the sheer range of it surprised me because, like you said, you were right here, probably like, you know, I mean, only people closer probably like on base or right over where he
literally
broke
like across the street. So
yeah, so yeah, as far as Virginia, people say it's like 50-mile radius. So I was like, I didn't know sonic booms sounded like that. Like,
it's actually pretty sick though. And I was actually I gotta say, I am kind of proud that a plane did fly over our nation's capital, and they responded so quickly.
Yes,
like after reading the story, I was like, okay, it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
that they took off sonic boom,
literally supersonic speed. like yo, we don't play around no more. Nothing. Like
So last year, at the Capitol, there was something similar where they were actually doing a military drill, where a military plane flew over the National Stadium. And they were jumping out of the planes with parachutes.
Really?
Yeah. And they didn't inform Congress. They didn't inform people in D.C. So, like, everybody was like, yo, Capitol building got evacuated. Everybody was out in the street.
There's planes flying around.
And then, like, there's planes flying around and people are jumping out of planes. What is happening right now?
Yo, that's terrifying.
Yeah. So we all had to get evacuated. It was like a crazy thing. It was like everybody in D.C. was just getting evacuated out of their buildings.
They just didn't communicate to them that the event was happening.
Yeah.
So they thought we were under attack.
Yeah. So we thought it was wild.
That's what it felt like. Like my sister's hilarious. She said, "Yo, they just dropped a bomb somewhere. Like we just got bombed. Like the U.S. did not get bombed." It was unfair. She said, "It's aliens. It's gotta be aliens."
But all I know is whoever is doing the communications for government, they need to fire that person and hire somebody new who's going to give proper communication.
Yes.
Because for that to happen at the Capitol and all those government buildings to get evacuated, you know, that's millions and millions of productivity just down the drain. Just
gone in an instant for somebody's email not getting through or just not telling the right people. Yeah, that's crazy.
And then the sonic boom thing, I do think you lose the American people's trust when you keep saying that it's a drill, and then we realize it's not a drill.
In hindsight, it's like, because nobody knew what was going on, because we're not used to hearing sonic booms. And if they're like, we're responding to a threat, and how fast do you think that call had to go through? Like, there's an unidentified plane in Washington, how fast it took for that pilot to get in and then launch.
Well, what happened was they said the pilot was supposed to land in New York. They went off course.
You went to D.C.?
And then they just kept flying south towards D.C. for some reason. No one knows why. But... Yeah, they knew the plane was coming for a while. They should have, I guess, once it started entering the airspace, that's when they were like, all right,
it's DC jurisdiction. Yeah, they're going to respond quickly.
Yeah, but they definitely should have just said that, you know, like, there's plenty of times other airplanes are in the vicinity, and they'll say, hey, there's an object over the DC area, you know, stay clear. This is just one of those other times where they should have did that. Yeah. But I guess they just didn't. So.
Yeah, they responded first and then told everybody later. Literally, sonic boom first. Tell everybody later. So yeah, that's and then what? 2 days afterwards, we get smoke as a weather.
Yeah. You know, the world's literally burning now.
Yeah, so that should happen to me over in Washington.
Really?
And and that was so we were close to California, literally still the country away, right? California's all the bottom, Washington's all the way at the top. Well, the sky was still an orange haze for a week in Washington, like, and that was crazy because California was literally red, like it was literally like hell. Yeah. And then now it's here.
I see all the pictures from New York. I'm like, yo.
With a Diablo.
Yeah, they're like, welcome to hell. It's like orange skies.
It's like, who put a filter over New York? Oh, no, it's just smoke coming from Canada. So I have a conspiracy theory about this. I heard a conspiracy theory about this that I think is interesting. Is that when looking at how the fire started in Canada, it said it looks like the whole forest almost erupted at the same time. like all in a very short time frame. Like from I don't remember they said from a couple different spots or from one spot and just very quickly spread out to the point where even like first responders couldn't contain it fast enough for it to get out of control. So I don't know what that means. I don't know what that could be, but that's just one thing I heard. That's like
that's a theory.
That's a theory for
supposed
me.
to offer an explanation.
There's videos of it. I don't know if they're real because people can make anything. Of Google satellites are up there 24/7.
Of how quickly the fire just was
on
there?
Google Maps, you can literally see it. More support just looked it up. TikTok video with almost 20,000 viewed 20,000 times claims the fires in Nova Scotia were set on purpose to push a climate change agenda. Okay.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if I would agree with that.
For sure.
Especially someone about climate change. Like, come on, don't you want to care about the climate and then you're going to just fuck up a whole forest?
to get people to care about the climate more, because people in California are definitely singing a different tune.
I will say,
all that.
I don't know. I feel like nowadays, especially with Americans, we have such a short-term memory.
Yeah.
An event will happen. We'll be like, oh, no, climate change. We got to change it. 2 weeks later, there's a school shooting. No one cares about climate change. You know?
Yeah.
So,
that's true.
That's just not the way to go about it.
I do feel like sustained, though. People might start wanting whatever's happening to change.
I said 2 weeks. I mean the next day.
Yeah.
School shootings are every day.
Yeah. Those happen far too frequently now. Yeah. And those are almost going to become like the next, like, they already have been.
Yeah, they already have. People stop saying thoughts and prayers 2 years ago.
Because the next one's around the corner. So, yeah, so that's unfortunate. But that's one thing. Of course, whenever anything happens, people are going to come up with their own wild stories. So it's been kind of crazy just that last week. So we was chilling, and now it's all in 1 week. We got aliens, we got forest fires, military tracking them down. By the way, that plane apparently I don't know if the military shot it down or what.
They said they crashed into a mountain.
They said they crashed. Yeah, so
they said it crashed. We never
exactly. So and
there were 4 people on board.
They said there were 4 people on board, so literally just might have been like a little plane that was just doing its own thing, and then just
if it was a private plane.
Stupid.
One of the theories they're saying is that there was, I guess, the cabin got depressurized. Everyone passed out on the plane because they were trying to contact the plane, and no one was answering. Yeah. And then they were like, once that happens and everyone passes out, like. My God, there's nothing you can do. Yeah. Those people, you can't wake them up. Nothing.
Yeah, because
they said they just slammed into the mountain and just flew. But that's again what they say.
Yeah, what they say. Yeah, it could have been any of the above. So yeah. Crazy week, man. Crazy week, and it's only the start of the summer. So there's gonna be some fun stuff. So games wise. How we looking on Street Fighter?
So it looks like it is paused for some reason. Did I pause that? I did not.
I don't think it did. So me and the homies been playing Street Fighter.
World 4 is downloading.
Do you need that? If Fighting Grounds installed, we could just play that because World Tour is a whole story mode.
I'm gonna have to download the background.
Okay, yeah, we chilling.
So I can also stream it on Twitch. I have an extra PS5 controller.
Sweet.
So
we'll probably run some rounds.
Yeah. I'd like to get some practice in.
Yeah, for sure. Find a character you like. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. That could happen. We can do that a little later. Let's talk about anime right now.
Yeah.
Have you caught up on any of the? Well, first off, you need to start watching the anime. We can't have a podcast and talk about anime and video games.
I can talk about old stuff and stuff I've seen.
Yeah, but no one cares about that. We already know what happens in that.
That's true. I've been trying to keep up with the clips. There's a lot going on.
Did you watch any of the new Demon Slayer?
The
Hashira fight.
I didn't see the most recent one with Scarred Face dude.
Yeah. So right now, fight is Mist Hashira just won his fight. So he just dogged one dude, and then there was now the one chick with the love, with the titties and the pink and green hair and the
love Hashira.
Yeah, she's fighting now.
Got you. Yeah, I saw that. Her blade is cool. They come up with some interesting concepts for these.
Yeah, it is. And I wonder how hers, like, you see them forging the swords in that village. I'm like, who made her sword?
Yeah, it was wild enough to be like a steel whip.
Yeah.
Hope they don't cut their own head off throwing it around. Yeah. So it's I don't I think I saw at the end of the last episode before her fight actually started, but you're saying she actually throws down now.
Yeah, she drove. It was like for a quick second.
Mm,
Wasn't nothing too crazy. She just saved Tandra and was like, "All right, I'm gonna save you. Don't worry, I'm the shit."
yeah.
Kind of left it at that.
So I don't think it's a spoiler alert, but it might be. If you think it is, you can not tell me. Did they explain how this dude is half demon yet?
They have not.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing that part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have not explained that yet, but he definitely looks half demon.
Yeah, with the eyes and all that, but they look different than the other demon eyes.
If you noticed, every like character that's not one of the demons, like Nezuko's eyes are definitely different.
Yeah,
his eyes are different.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that goes.
Mm.
And then his brother is a Hashira. His older brother is a Hashira.
Other scarred one that was fucking with
yeah,
Nezuko.
I feel like they'll just have a similar story to.
Everybody has the same story.
Another similar story.
Got bodied
by demons, and
the demons have the same backstory.
Yeah. Everybody has the same story.
It's actually just an awful world with demons in it.
I will say the Mist Hashiras was pretty sad though.
Yeah, it's just for sure. Yeah. So
it's just crazy because like you watch a show like this and you're like, wow, look at these two kids. Both their parents died. They're with each other, and it's like you can't imagine that, but that still goes on in different places of the world.
Yeah, literally, like this is a story in anime, but people live
still very similar lives,
yes,
and we take it for granted over the world.
Not having to fight demons to avenge our families and etc. Yeah, for sure. Are you feeling better about Demon Slayer now in season 3?
I mean, again, I like all the side characters in Demon Slayer. They're what make the show good. I just don't like that the main trio does not develop as much as I would like them to. The show is carried by the Hashira. It's carried by everybody else, all the demons. It's just not carried by the 3 main characters. Their support in their own show.
Yeah, they literally they have become like the sidekicks to the main characters. Yeah,
it's like watching Harry Potter, but it's like not Harry. Like the whole show, the whole book is told from Ron's perspective.
Ron Weasley.
And you're like, okay.
You gotta watch Harry be this great wizard, and you're like the goofy guy off to the side. Yeah, that's actually what it is. And
it works sometimes. Just for me, I'm not a fan of that. I want to see the main character grow. I like traditional shonen.
Yeah,
you know,
they have been growing in what they can do, but they're definitely not at the level that these guys are at.
Yeah, like I don't think they'll catch up. I don't think these guys are so far ahead.
They're just gonna die out and try to take out Muzan. They're never gonna get to that level.
Far out, these other Hashira, and it's like they're definitely growing, but they're still like that first upper rank. They shouldn't have they shouldn't have survived that. No,
I mean only because of Hashira they did, right? So yeah, it's very. I see like the stakes are coming in because it's like without the demon slayers, these demons just run roughshod over the entire population.
Yeah, absolutely
for them, and they're trying to do good with. I feel like he's leading them up for a good like coming of age because I don't think there's a lightning and beast Hachira right now. Right? Are one of them lightning or beast?
I don't know. I don't read the manga. So.
And I haven't. None of them have yellow fit or have a beast head. So that's my only inkling. Oh, Jesus, what was that? The only inkling that I have that there's not. So they might become the first ones of that breathing style.
Oh yeah,
and
I definitely think Zenitsu could, because him in particular, he.
Once he starts manning up.
Yeah, once he starts actually like, because his subconscious self is already like
beast mode.
I think he's already probably Hashira level at the subconscious level when he's knocked out or whatever. But he just needs to be able to tap into that while he's awake.
Yeah, and then he's a beast.
Yeah,
and then homie Inosuke has to just get his shit together.
Inosuke can move his own organs.
Yeah,
so I feel like you're already if you can be like, I move my heart to the other side, you're kind of already a G.
What animal can do that one? Like, what's going on?
He has that much control over his body.
Yeah.
He just needs to be a better swordsman. And he is a whack swordsman.
Yeah, I mean, he has solved, he's trying his best. I'm liking it. I'm wondering if they're gonna, because the Demon Slayer manga has ended, right, officially. Yeah. So I'm wondering if he's gonna try and just end his story, or might try to stretch it out for a little bit. Honestly, to have another One Piece on our hands
this season. I think Hell's Paradise has just been the one that's been like, killing it.
Yeah, Gabimaru's fight against I forget which
the Tenzin or whatever.
Yeah, Tenzin.
That thing was a really good fight.
Yeah, and
it brought the show's level already to like, damn, on like what episode are they on? Like 8. I'm like, sheesh.
Yes,
he is a savage, man.
He is truly just beast like. And
yeah,
the things he's fighting are 2 now. So him having to try as hard as he has. Yeah. Or as hard as he's like been doing to win these fights is pretty cool to see.
Yeah, and I like that he actually was fucking this thing up for a little bit. Like this thing was like in shock. They were like, haven't fought a human like this in forever. And he just was going ham. He was just going in.
Do you think? Because I feel like he got a lot of what inspiration? Is a lot of Naruto and like. It's like Jujutsu Kaisen-esque. Yeah. Combining those.
I was saying a while ago that I think all like, you know how there was the Moe period of anime, there was the 80s period of anime where they had that kind of art style. We're definitely going more to that Jujutsu Kaisen-esque art style. Jujutsu Kaisen, this Studio Mappa. Everyone's this kind of magical, very serious, but like, or Bleach-esque, old school Bleach-esque art style. That's like the new age thing that's coming back, or it's not new, but
it's
coming back.
Coming back for sure, because those were the original 3, right? That's what, and this is all just, like, this is Ichigo versus,
But I mean, like, even the trio had, like, their own, like, One Piece, whole different art style, then Bleach, which was a whole different art style than Naruto. Naruto's art style kind of took over for the past...
Good bit, My Hero,
all that.
A lot of those are inspired
by. But now that whole edgy teen like art style is picking up now with these.
Yeah.
So I was really hyped over this fight. This shit was lit. Gabimaru's a beast, and I'm just excited to see where they take this show because already coming at this level is a lot.
How do you think he levels up? Because right now he's still just been going off of his like. Pretty much from like baseline, right? He's been having to try harder against these opponents, but he hasn't really had like a boost in power, and he's been staying in this place where these things are that strong. What, do you think he?
Well, so far he seems like a very adaptable character. So I'm gonna say that he's probably just gonna start fighting these things and just grow by himself. Just start picking up on their skills, starting to learn how they're using their abilities. He obviously isn't a normal human. I think they point that out in this episode. They say, dude, you're kind of like you probably don't realize it yourself right here. Like, you don't realize it yourself. So there's going to be something with him. Maybe he'll be a Quincy. I don't know. You know how Bleach Ichigo and everything.
Literally. So he might be one of these Tenzin as well in some capacity.
Or like a demigod or something. Right. Because he also is like immortal. He's also regenerating.
At the same speed as this like fucking monster. So he's got to be related in some type of way.
So I definitely see him growing, unlocking something to progress as a character. But right now he doesn't really need to. I think right now the whole beginning is going to be just him finding his humanity again, feeling for people, wanting to protect people. That's how the show's gonna kind of go.
Yeah, it's dope. It's looking like they're trying to make this one of the top of the year, something like that.
Yeah, and they have these cool what are they? They're like androgynous plant people.
Yeah,
that fuck themselves. They were all like, what did they say? They're all like split off from one hermit. It's
really?
So the Tenzin apparently it's like 7 of them, but they're all different aspects of the one person that created them, and he broke off into 7 pieces, and they're all immortal now, and they can just change their sexes, so they just be fucking themselves. So, last night they say that in the beginning of the episode. So they're like, we were fucking yesterday. I'm like, why?
Just going crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. No, this is dope. This is like, did you ever read Sirens?
Yeah, I did.
They never got an anime, but I so wish they did because I feel like
he was bodying this thing.
He was like, I'm just gonna keep regenerating and punching you more and more. Yo, yeah, this is beastly.
Yeah, that was all Hitman. He was
just gonna overcome your punches with more punches.
Yeah, I'll just beat you faster than you can regenerate. I love when the anime does that. They're like, yeah, you're gonna give this guy a godly ability. You just gotta out-godly the godly ability.
Yeah, he's literally gonna be a god killer by the end of this.
Yeah.
They set him up to be. So yeah, again, this is probably still my top one out of the ones we were talking about. I've been seeing a little bit of the Pokemon one, but they had like one like really big fight. Then it's just been like kids on adventures.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen any of the Pokemon. I've been watching this one. Another good one I've been watching has been just the isekais.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all the isekais have been pretty good, but nothing too crazy.
Gotcha. Speaking of isekais, I want to give an update on. Because I've still been going through these audiobooks, and He Who Fights Monsters. I gotta say it again. I'm on like 5, chapter 5, episode 5, book 5. Sorry, I'm loving it so much. They've integrated the isekai, like, and what's the one? I got a OP power in another world. And I became overpowered in my own.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, except he's like, I mean, similar premise. And I really like the way they do it because now he's gone back and he's like introducing his family to the magic powers he got in the other world, and he's like making his family a magic society basically all from the ground up.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, so that's been just really cool.
What does this mean? It says avatar recipe found from another version.
So you made an avatar in the demo. I made the one in the demo, and you can choose to keep that one or make it. No, I don't want that. Yeah, go. You can always change it, but yeah, they're just asking if you wanted to keep that one. What's going on? What you doing?
Oh well, I got.
You wanna?
So by the way, Chad, I finally bought Street Fighter today.
Hey.
I'm gonna start whooping up on everybody. Gonna start busting everyone's ass because, as you know, I'm the best Street Fighter player.
Yeah, he claims to be the best Street
in
Fighter
the world.
Player. Yeah, we'll see. You gotta hold you to that.
Yeah.
So.
What are those people's names that play professionally? What is it, like Sonic Fox or something?
Yeah, Sonic Fox.
Yeah, so I'm gonna beat his ass. I'm gonna beat her. You heard it first on this podcast.
Yeah, he's been beastly. Yeah, I'm with this game. I feel like the fighting game community is like resurgent. Like they've already sold. I think it's either 1 million or 10 million Street Fighter 6 copies worldwide. So
this is confirmed Capcom ID.
So if you, I don't know how you're gonna do this on your computer. I assume you don't have a Capcom.
I probably don't. I just didn't agree and it kept popping up.
Yeah.
There's a QR code.
Yeah, you gotta actually do the QR code. It's getting to that level, and you gotta create an account through there. So yeah, we can run some games. If you want to stream, I can try pulling up SF6 on my laptop. But if the stream starts,
all this other software is running.
I am thinking about it. It's streaming software. It's not that heavy, and I'm just using
pretty
the
heavy,
camera.
man. You're streaming this on how many different streams right now?
Just one. We're just doing Facebook.
Okay.
Shout out to Facebook. We can download it on Instagram to figure out how, and make it far too complicated, in my opinion. What's going on with you, moral support? How you feeling? Can I ask you something? Okay, what do you think about the alien thing? The aliens coming to our planet this year. Do you think it could happen?
This year?
I don't know. Like, with my spirituality, the way that I think about humans is that we are the aliens.
You think people? That's an interesting to me because I feel like the Bible says a similar thing. Like the humans are the non-natural thing here on this planet, and you look at it through a similar gauge, just without the whole.
What do you mean they're the non-natural thing? Explain
As
that.
in, like. So you just said, explain how you think humans are the aliens.
I think we came from somewhere else. This is not the original planet that we were on. I mean, we listened to the theory that we were listening to from that doctor, and he was saying how, like, most people don't know that we share a solar system with another solar system. Mm-hmm. And that solar system has been orbiting and changing our orbits of our planets.
Yeah, so the galaxy is freaking huge, and apparently, as we learn new things, we learn things like gravitational pull and the fact that our solar system is so close to another solar system that their gravities could interact sometimes and cause really crazy shit to happen, like comet storms and all this other stuff that may plague the Earth regularly or be completely unique. So you think that humans might be from a different galaxy over? Is that what you're saying?
From a different solar system? Or
solar system?
Planet?
Yeah. Why not Earth? Why is Earth not? Why do you think not Earth?
The only reason why I don't think Earth is because archaeologists like literally said that like they found like pieces from like I guess pieces of like what is it, like not weapons but like what is it called? Like things
spaceships, tools.
It's like bases and stuff like that. Like just different items.
Pottery, just furniture and stuff like that.
We would have built like later on in like our development as humans, but like they found them being made earlier.
Okay, so wait, so they had it. Okay, so this is I think that's interesting. What I heard, or the way I understand it is, like, as people, our memories don't carry over from the previous generation, so we can't know what our ancestors knew, right? So if there was a group of people that were somewhere, let's say if we're in the U.S., right? We don't really know what's going on in like India without assuming with social media we do, but before we didn't. So we don't know how advanced they are, right? And if we get wiped out and they come over here, they'd be like, wow, we never knew they were this advanced, right? And they had this stuff. So I feel like that's just what's happening, but with more time, right? Like they were humans that were doing things other humans couldn't imagine because they weren't there.
I mean, the only thing that I could say with that is that Sumerians were the first group of people to have written texts, right? And that's where the story of the Anunnaki people come from. And they talk about aliens and not being from Earth and everything. And that's the first written text that we have. And the only thing that aligns with the text that they have with every other religion is the Great Flood.
Yeah, so by first you mean that's the one we think is the oldest?
It is the oldest.
Yes.
Right now it's the oldest. It's the oldest Sumerian text. Is the oldest text
that we know of. Yeah. So, and so in that one, humans still technically come from Earth, though, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
What do you mean?
No. What they're saying is that like we would be part alien, basically.
Yeah, like, but still from Earth with a little extra.
What do you mean from Earth? What is your definition of?
So for those who don't know, we're gonna get into some. Have you heard of this? The Sumerian text.
What about the Sumerian text?
It is another religious book similar to the Bible, and India has their own. Jews have the Quran. That was made by the Sumerian people, which is what history as we know it thinks is the oldest group of people around, that have a story about how humans became on Earth. Just like how the Bible does, just like how the Norse mythology, all mythologies have an origin story for human beings. And that one, they say that there's been talk of like a ninth planet in our solar system that we just can't find. That's not Pluto, and that planet orbits or is visible to us every like 500, 2,000 years or something like that. Do you remember what it is? It's some insane amount of time.
That would be in our solar system?
Or literally, because of the size of the universe, these two planets only will come into close proximity, like between Earth and Mars type distances, every 2,000 years, right? And before that time period, we literally can't even see it because it's so far in its own orbit. So that's the whole like two galaxies that come close together type thing because of their orbits. Mm-hmm. That's where that idea comes from, and they are talking about this thousands and thousands of years ago. That because of planets, they talk about orbits and they talk about things.
So we talk about AC, AD, and BC, right?
Yeah. So they would have been like.
So let's say it was 2,000 years ago. That would be like right now we'd be in year 23 AD, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that means the planet would then be coming around us now if it was 2000, right?
No, the date would be November 2022.
It would have been that would have been last year.
When they came in proximity to us.
But we haven't seen anything, and I know we've been looking at the sky now for the past how many years?
But
several hundred years now. So I'm like, you would have noticed it coming.
Yeah, I'm not saying take that as fact because they were also very, very old people that could have been completely wrong on the estimate.
But you see what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah,
we've
been
looking at. The estimate could have changed. That's what the doctor was also saying too, because gravitational pull changes.
Yeah, and humans don't have a exact idea over how.
But the way we've been looking towards the sky for the past, let's even say, 700 years, like we would have noticed if something probably came within proximity, especially a whole planet, within the past 700 years.
Yeah. So that's how far away they're saying that this thing is, because it is so far that maybe it's not even in our galaxy because of the way how big the solar system is. Yeah. Maybe something else happened to that galaxy and it's gone.
But either way, they knew that we shared a solar system with
another planet like that.
Yeah, at that time.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was like Halley's Comet or something. Maybe
exactly. It could have been anything. Yeah. They're just talking about things. Yeah. So they say that these people came down from whatever that was, right? Planet. It could have been whatever they're calling a planet back then, right? And that they came down, landed on Earth, and they brought a slave colony with them, right, from their planet. And what they people. Well, here's where it gets interesting is because they said that after they landed there was a war between the uprising between the people that they had enslaved and this
I gotta pick a player name.
Yeah, you gotta, so that way
what's your player name?
Galaxy Blades.
Of course it is.
Yeah. That's my handle if you need to know what it is.
Alright, I'll do mine. This.
So, long story short, the uprising species gets thrashed. They get utterly destroyed. And then the invaders need another race, or want, rather, another race of creatures to help do all their manual labor, right? So, they take different species from Earth, literally everything, monkeys, rhinos, cats, lions, everything they can find, right? And then they start evolving them to be able to basically be like drones to do this manual labor, lift heavy things, move heavy things, all the above. But I actually like that intro a lot. So eventually through that process, we get humans, but we also get, that is they. And Capcom has gone all in on you have to guess.
Non-binary.
Yes.
Yeah, we're all going to hell. We're all going to hell.
It's just, this is how things are going, and so
yeah. Have you been hearing the whole thing about babies now? And they're like, you shouldn't gender a baby at birth, and it's like,
yeah, no, that's.
How do you feel? I know you have a child. How does that work? Do y'all call your baby he, she, they, or do you refer to your child as they, them?
I mostly call her by her name, but
her.
No, we use her pronouns for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say that if she wanted to change her pronouns later,
exactly,
she can't.
Yes, I feel like.
But you come in and just like
she is biologically a female. If she wants to be girly or have feminine attitude, that's great. If she wants to do the other thing, that's fine with me. Or both, whenever she feels like it, because that's an option now. So, but I feel like
I don't think that's really an option.
It is.
I don't agree.
That's fine.
I don't think like, especially for the male experience, part of being the male experience is that you can't be the female experience. Like, you can't really say I am a male and go through the struggles and take that on, but then also be able to decide to be a woman when you feel like it. Like, part of the male experience is not being able to step into that that zone. So I guess you can call yourself that and say that's what you are for your own personal being, but from the outside looking in and in a societal standpoint, society won't view you as a male unless you're living the male experience
that society has set. I agree with that. People have their own perspectives, and trying to if I just decide to view myself as a woman whenever I feel like it, and I try to force you to be like, you need to treat me like a woman. They're like, no, I should try to push my personal.
I'm not even saying that. Like, if you decide you want to be a male and be treated as a male, that's fine. But you have to take it on fully and not be able to then step back, because then you won't be respected as a male when you step into the male position. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I think so. Maybe it depends on what you do.
Yeah, it's just, again, like, let's say when it comes to, I don't know, work, a career or something, like, and you're like, I am a man. And it's like, okay, cool. And then now we have to lift heavy shit. And you're like, I am a woman.
And now you just got to sit at a desk.
And I am not doing this. And then...
Well, what if someone would want to take that on?
No.
Like, want to take on male roles?
I don't want to lift heavy stuff, right? So you skip out on it, and then you go and sit at the table with everybody else, and then you go, I am a man. All those people at the table will be like, you weren't a man when we were all lifting heavy shit.
Yeah, you can't decide to be
decide to be a man now that you're sitting at this table with us, because we all had to live in that experience 100% of the time. Were you able to step in and out of that experience?
You had to do that work.
So I'm saying that you kind of, in my opinion, you have to pick something and you have to stick with it for society to view. Not saying that you can't be it, but you have to stick to it and actually fully commit to it for you to be respected by either side. Just like as a woman, if a guy tries to step into a woman's shoes and goes, I am a woman, right?
for this moment, thing, for this tournament or whatever.
Yeah. And then you step out, no one's going to be like, yeah, like, again, all these men dominating women in these sports right now.
Women, do you hear about that? Do that one into a women's poker game and won. Yeah. Which I think is crazy, because it's like, just poker, like, for...
Yeah, that's not even like physically intensive. Yeah. But to
it's happening with like skating sports and shit too. But like,
But to say I am a woman for that moment, and then step back and then be like, I am now. Yeah, you can't do that. It just doesn't work. Yeah. People don't respect it.
And that's all I'm saying. Women less places to be women, right? Yeah. Especially with the whole like bathroom situation.
And it devalues the people that are actually really trying to be it 100% of the time, because then people don't respect. They're like, well, you
flip flop just like
other people I've seen flip flop all the time, so why should I expect you to then?
It's like the new vegan.
Flip-flop? Yeah.
It's like the new vegan. You're not really vegan. You just don't say it.
So I guess technically you can. Anybody can do anything. Like technically you can go out and murder someone. It doesn't mean that it's going to be
just going to be
happy or accepted. So that's all I'm saying.
For sure. So, but I do think the whole thing about, because there's a big thing going on politically, I guess I'd say, about the whole like kids thing. Yeah. And I feel like under a certain age, like giving somebody a surgery like that is just that's okay. That's wild. That's and, like.
Have you heard about the kids who are like now suing their parents?
Yeah,
because they're like, you allowed me to go and claim this other gender when I was under 18, go through surgeries, get hormone treatments. You're supposed to be protecting me and making better decisions on my behalf until I'm an adult.
And a lot of them end up sterilized because they literally have to remove their.
Yeah, they do. And it's definitely a hard place. But the way our society is going, it's like if you don't do that, you're a terrible person, and if you do it, you're terrible. You're a rock in a hard place.
Yeah, so that's kind of crazy. And the crazy thing is that it's a little messed up, but it's a little funny to me how a lot of like the old Republican idea was like they're gonna replace us, right? And now I don't know. It's like somehow they've worked in like we're gonna stop having kids and start changing our kids' genders, and now I mean a lot of course it happens to some black people. Way more white people have had that like transformative surgery.
Yeah, I mean we don't like our communities statistically doesn't have the money to do that.
But they can. So they've had thousands of kids now that are sterilized because of this kind of shit. And I was like, that's hitting them in the population real hard.
I don't think they should be getting surgery and stuff. I just feel that you shouldn't be limited because you're a woman. You shouldn't be limited because you're a man. That's how I feel.
Yeah, as an
I
adult.
feel like you shouldn't be limited. Like, I don't like it when people are like, well, you can't do this thing with us because you're a girl. And I'm like,
no, I fully, I agree with the access to opportunity, like definitely, but I will say that is just a bias. There's biases in every single everything. If you're short, you can't play basketball. Like you can, but you
can. You have a much harder time.
But you have a much harder, and that's just how it is in society. Like it's not just gender; it's in a bunch of other things, and I think it's not right to ignore that and to pretend like it doesn't exist. So there are plenty of opportunities where men are not accepted in lots of women's spaces. Like tons. And the funny thing is, especially with the feminist movement, is that they want to keep those spaces. And they're like we need women safe spaces. But the spaces that men are in aren't allowed and that they have are no longer supported, but we want our spaces and we want to be a part of their spaces, and that's where I think that's not.
Do you agree with? No.
Like I would appreciate if everybody was just like mixed on all together, and that it wasn't like, oh, this is just a man's space, this is just a woman's space. That's why like I identify as non-binary because and I want to be accepted in both spaces. And
you're one of the first people I've met who actually are like, yeah, I want to do this. And I'm okay with other people doing it. But it's funny because when you talk, you'll notice, you'll relate to women and we'll be like, yeah, I agree with that. And then you start saying the other side of it. And the women are like, whoa. You're going too far. And I've noticed that with how you communicate with people. So I'm like, you're definitely an anomaly. And I wouldn't say that is the normative approach. That most people want to have their cake and eat it too.
Yeah, I agree with that. You definitely made the point, and your reasoning's understandable. Yeah, I think that, like you said about access to opportunity, but I also think that we categorize things to understand it.
Yeah,
and that putting people in similar, like we have teams of sports or not gender separated sports for a reason. A lot of those probably don't need to be and can be, but maybe they also should be.
It gives people a fair chance.
Exactly.
Honestly, it does.
If there is a gender neutral tournament that the people that consider them trans could participate in and have still be girls play against girls and boys play against boys, I feel like then maybe they've entered that realm where they can have that competition instead of just taking girl spaces
again,
taking guy spaces.
Even in fighting martial arts, there are weight classes, right? Yeah. There are biases in all forms of sports.
Yeah,
like a lineman on a football team is not about to be 100 pounds professional football. They're gonna get crushed. So we have biases for everything.
Yeah, there's got to be some limiters to keep fairness.
Fairness in the sport, and that's just how it is. So
a lot of these sports need to enforce those and not bend to, even if this 6 foot dude says he's a girl and about to swim against these girls. You got to be like, no, I'm sorry.
It makes it unfair, and to also pretend like it doesn't exist. Part of it, sure. But just know, like, it's gonna be unfair.
Yeah. Nobody. You're not gonna get.
And I think that's what's gonna end up happening is if we did fuse the sports groups for things, it would still be male dominated. Every sport, everyone would still watch the male-dominated sports because then it would be, okay, you're trying out for the kicker, he's trying out for the kicker. All right, bam, kicker's the man, you know?
Yeah, because he's going to kick better.
Yeah.
On average,
You would not see women in these sports. And then what would women do? They'd fight for their own sports.
Yeah, they make their own.
You know what would happen? We'd make separate sports for women.
Yeah.
And then we'd be back in square one.
Yeah. It's going to have to be a repeating cycle. It's just going to have to handle, like, new problems. And that's going to be...
Inequality is a thing. To ignore inequality is stupid. And I think as Black people, we should definitely acknowledge that and know that things aren't equal.
Yeah.
So to pretend that things are equal.
Mm-hmm. And at least strive to like make them more so have them be better because one thing about America is it's gonna get, especially with all the immigrants we got coming in, it's gonna get real diverse real quick. Like it's gonna be like, I know you've been seeing it now, but just like the idea that Virginia would have been like a Koreatown. I got nothing against Koreans, but it just wasn't like what 4 years ago, and now it just is.
Honestly, I think within the next 100 years, America, we are going to be we kind of are. We're the world's consumer base.
Yeah, I mean China is bigger by a good much
by population, but I mean the way we spend money here, no other country has credit like we do. No other country has like debt like we do.
Yeah,
like we are just in a whole different caliber. We spend and we buy from the rest of the world, right?
Everything, yeah. Like and they buy oil from us, oil and gas from us.
Well, we're kind of just a consumer base for the rest of the world, and they kind of all use our money. It's weird, but I think what's going to end up happening is we're going to be more of a consumer. We're going to be like the guinea pigs for the world, and then there's going to be
kind of already are.
We already are, and the other countries are going to come here to make money,
like they do.
They're going to go back to their countries where they're respected, and they're going to raise their families in that kind of environment. And here is where you just come to make money, have fun,
and be able to do those things. It's the land of opportunity, an opportunity to get rich. Yeah, that's gonna be America for sure.
I definitely think it's gonna be a horrible place to raise children in the future.
There will be nicer places for sure, like everywhere, but it's gonna have its own ups and downs.
But I mean, even here, the entitlement from the people. I think that in other countries, like a lot of my friends from overseas, they have a different work ethic.
Yeah.
They have a different.
You feel like that's the whole country, or maybe just cities in general?
I think that's the whole country.
Really?
Yeah, to some level, because there are kids in China, right, that are taking like freaking Calc 1 in like middle school. You know, like their level of work ethic is just like.
Yeah, they've been seriously putting into their education. Well, we've been.
They have like 1 week off summer break. Like that's not something that like we have. They don't play video games to the extent. Their government's like limit.
Yes, they have a very
strict limit on video games.
You feel like that's better for them? It makes them better for. I wouldn't even say military, but specifically military, because a lot of those same countries have military requirements.
The work ethic from their populations, they're just more about the community and
about the country.
And about the country. We're here, we're about the individual.
Yeah.
And that keeps us separated and fragmented. It's going to make us weaker as a country.
It's kept us on the top for a good while, though.
That's not what kept us on the top for a good while.
A lot of it's military, yes.
World War II was what kept us on the top for a good while.
A lot of it was bigger guns.
Every other Western country got destroyed during World War II.
Yeah, and they weren't doing well.
Built them back up.
Yes, we were at a good distance away, had time to do all that.
We provided resources for the rest of the world and built every other Western country back up.
For sure.
But now that everything's starting to balance out, and the new generations are taking over, we're going to start to see that scale tip, because the new generations of Americans coming up are spoiled and entitled, and they think they deserve it. And in those other countries,
they're working for it, and not getting a lot for it too. No, I agree with you. It's not going to be a good thing in the next. Something's got to change, man. I'm a fan of, after seeing what the military's done for the people around me, like the Korea's idea. South Korea, not North.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, no, they don't have any great ideas of like mandatory service for adult men. That makes sense to me. Like now being a person that like I don't want to go into the military, but if I had to and had to learn a lot of those values, it's kind of like what you're saying. Like you for them, they don't have that Chinese education where they're kind of like forced at a young age to have to. But they have an opportunity to go into service and put the skills they've gained, whatever that is, right, in life. Like, are they ever making the what's the Korean boy band? BTS. They're making them go into schools. They're the biggest stars in the world. Probably making more money for South Korea than anything else they're doing.
Yeah, now you got to do it. Fuck
and
it.
You still
I don't care who you are. You got to do that service.
Yeah. What's up?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So I respect that idea and what it could do for their population, because now they're always going to have a generation of men that went to service. So if anything does pop off, they have a generation of fighters, of strategic minds, people
that know how to work in the military and aren't only thinking about themselves. Yeah,
too, and utilize whatever abilities, and that's going to give them leadership in whatever situation they're in. Like, okay, what can you do? How can we utilize you?
Yeah, and even like our friend who was on here the other day, Coop.
Exactly.
And him going and doing the whole Jewish birthright thing, going to Israel, serving, fighting for the country, the motherland, and then coming back. That's like a Jewish thing that a lot of young Jewish men do and women.
It's very formative.
And it's very...
It has to sharpen you up.
Yeah, and it also keeps you... It builds a connection with you in the motherland to like have a respect for it. You're not going to see a lot of like Christianity slowly dissolving. People are now coming in, giving their own ideas. Again, America's all about the individual.
Yeah.
It's all about, I don't like this type of Christianity, so I'm going to believe in my type of Christianity.
Wherever I want.
Yeah. Judaism, no. They're going to be like, no, this is what it is to be Jewish.
Can't remix nothing.
Yeah.
It's this way.
Yeah.
We tweak some things from honest society, but it's
like there's something about tattoos, I think they believe. Like if you have tattoos, you can't be buried at like certain cemeteries or something. Yeah. Like they're like, wow, you can't be buried next to the Jewish people if you have tattoos. And like there's like different kind of
different culture norms. Yeah, because in Hawaii, like in other tribal places where tattoos are signs of like great things, signs of your kills that you've done. So if you hunt, signs of leadership, right, and in forms of expression for dancers or tribe leaders and all that. Yeah. But for them, it's a sin. So it's like blending those is at a large scale, like America is. You can get some people that are going to be looking very different than other people, kind of like we have now. But imagine like you see somebody who's into cyberpunk, right? Walk in with a steampunk metaled out outfit in like 2025 and like we're at the club, like what's going on here? This isn't the cosplay thing. He's like, no, I just dress like this all the time because I can, and I identify as a steampunk pirate or some shit. Like just okay, like I don't know.
I definitely think one of the things I'm realizing as I'm getting older, in my 30 years, I'm now 30, guys. So. But I think consistency is the path to success. No matter what you're doing, you have to stay consistent in it because there will be ups, there will be downs. But if you're constantly adjusting and constantly changing to the things that are coming in, you'll never grow, right? So we're realizing now with a lot of these religious groups and things like that, they're constantly changing, they're constantly adapting, and they're not staying true to their core base, right? Or just like any kind of, even a video game, right? If you're constantly updating and changing the features, trying to make everybody else happy, the core base is going to be like,
at some point when it starts losing what it was.
Yeah, it's going to lose what it was.
You feel like that's happening with religion right now?
I think it is. I think that especially with Christianity, there's a lot of people that are like, like even the LGBTQ stuff, them being more inclusive of that, they're like, yeah, that's not...
That was not Christianized before. Yeah, God never said he hates gays, but, there's I actually listened to a talk about that recently regarding Christianity, but I had a question for you. So do you feel like that is a product of just the volume of ideas that are able to be had? Because I think I said, it was like a few podcasts ago, I said that like anime is the new religion. Like Jesus did really cool things, and that's what made the story of the Bible really cool. It's like he was an important person that did amazing things, and that was cool. But now, like I've gotten to see like so many other stories of people that have gone and done great things, right? Definitely in a different aspect, but still, like I don't need to believe that this one person did this one good thing and he's the best when I have like so many examples of great.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case because Jesus in the Bible, I don't think he was cool. I don't think he was like...
I mean, cool as in the fact that like nobody else could do these things other than this person. Like he was the Superman before comics were written.
But like even before, there were other stories. There was the Odyssey. There was like, all these other...
Those other stories weren't spread across the world. Christianity would specifically say like, hey, this is the book of real stuff. This is history.
But that's what I'm saying. They claimed it as a history. It wasn't a story. It was this is real. This is true. Anime is not like that.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the other stories you're talking about are like that. People don't internalize it as a true thing. So I don't think it's like the new religion in that aspect, because that's what makes religion different. And if you do that, every other religious text also claim, it's like, we are true, and that's why people follow it. But anime, no, they're definitely not
claiming to be real life situations.
Yeah.
It's just stories.
Greek mythology, when they're like, Zeus and all them, there was a time where they claimed that was true.
This was true information. So you think that could happen to the Bible at some point? Like, we know that this like event, they say it happened, but it like, we confirm maybe something similar but like different. Like somebody was telling a story.
I think they've been trying to do that.
They haven't. I mean, have they found much proof of these things? Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think they've been trying to disprove the Bible for hundreds of years. No one's been able to disprove it. And they've also been trying to like prove things.
Yeah, and also know.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily know if we ever got time machines or something in the future,
we'll go back.
Go back and find out. But like,
yeah, because at the same time, it's like if
it's about faith, and all religions about faith.
Exactly.
And once you start to remove faith from it, then you kind of like, hey, anyways,
it is what it is. Only people that believe it happened will.
And anime doesn't garner faith. That's
yeah. I mean, I'd say those people have not like the same type of sacrificial faith that Christianity as a religion now has, but I'd say One Piece, right? That's the biggest thing for me, that I'm like, what has literally sold more volumes than the Bible, right? Yeah. One Piece, like what does maybe like.
But how many Bibles do you need to own? You need to own like all 500,000 books of One Piece.
Yeah, so it's a part of this. It's like owning a section of the Bible, having a volume of One Piece, right? They still sold a lot of it. So it's like, how many people around the world know about the story? Like, I'm not saying he's going to be worshipped as a god, even though he becomes one in the story or called one in the story or whatever. But the fact that like that story can get so widespread that everybody knows it. Everybody knows it.
I think the Bible's more popular than One Piece.
At some point, somebody's gonna be like, "Okay, do you know how to either do like the Christian sign for a cross over your heart, or like Luffy's pose for second gear?" And there's gonna be more people that do.
I think if I go to Africa and I go to a tribe, they're gonna know the Bible before
you
they
think so?
Know One Piece.
I don't know.
If I
it's under like 14.
And they are very, very, very Christian, very religious, and very, very true to that. It's a very Western thing, that we're talking about right now. And again, these other countries don't have the same individuality. Like, they have individuality, but not necessarily like
not as much as America.
Not as much of America thinking about each individual person as their own. Like, religion is still a very big thing in a lot of other countries.
You gotta hold to that societal norms and to be accepted by them. That makes sense. You feel like that could change?
I mean, I think globalism's making it change slowly.
Yeah.
But I also think that we're going to revert in some ways. I think, like, even in America, people are getting tired of some shit.
Oh, yeah, for sure. People are getting tired of everything.
Yeah. But I mean, like, the always accept. That's why Trump came in. The whole Make America Great Again was, what's going on with the world? We're accepting everything. Like, stop.
Everything's going crazy. Yep.
And that guarded a lot. So you're going to start to see countries like...
double down on stomping that stuff out, and others are going to be double down on allowing it.
Yeah. I think it's always going to ebb and flow.
For sure.
When you read the Bible, they have that, what's it called? The city of Sodom or whatever. There's that city where they were like... Yeah, where they were like having orgies and just like the city of sin, And when you actually look at it, it's kind of reminiscent of like
New York,
of like how we're going now in the country, like
just chaos.
And that country just was completely like, I don't know what
eventually.
happened.
Do you know what happens to them?
The city, he burned the city.
The city burns down. That's fitting.
Yeah. So they burn, they get destroyed, whatever. I think that you're gonna start seeing societies kind of like,
we've already
go super far one direction and just like fall apart.
Because that's like one of the prophecies. Because there's a bunch of prophecies in the Bible and everything.
Yeah.
About what's supposed to happen in the last days.
And that's So right now, I see America going that route where we're just going really far.
Oh, no. Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta talk about this a little bit. Have you seen the AI deepfake stuff?
Yeah, the deepfakes. Absolutely, man. This is going crazy.
Have
you seen the blackmail this thing happening?
No, I haven't heard of that.
So right now there is the FBI warned about it. A lot of people are taking likes, like people, making a bunch of porn with them.
Oh yeah,
and then just blackmailing them and saying, "I'm going to release this about you unless you give me money."
That's crazy. No, I haven't heard about that. I knew about the website that was doing it because one of those streamers got caught with the browser on it.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah. Oh no! Dude, it's a website known for taking female streamers and putting their faces
on porn.
On AI generated. He had his tab open. He had to apologize. Man, that's crazy. So yeah, it's getting crazy. But I feel like just saying like, yo, it's not me, and like this person obviously generated it.
But don't forget, nowadays people are guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah, I guess
not innocent until proven guilty anymore.
Yeah.
So like, it only takes the 30 seconds of you in limelight for your whole reputation to fall apart.
Yeah, something crazy to happen. I don't know. For some people, that having stuff like that's only benefited them, like Kim Kardashian, and I don't know.
But Kim Kardashian was a nobody, and then it happened.
Well, her family, her family literally sold it and marketed her, and that's how she became famous. So I think really depends on how you handle it.
You also got to remember that was also in a time before internet. That was
right around when internet was getting popping off.
That was when they were selling her sex tape DVDs, right?
Literally, yes. More profiting off of it. So you could do that and spin it, but no, it is definitely scary that that's possible for somebody to do. And it's
but if
only
you're a politician,
that's dangerous.
You are now running for.
And you talk about just with like pornography. What if it's something more serious like murder or theft or something small that you can like really get in trouble for?
Yeah.
And I was listening to a podcast about this, and somebody said something like the only way to combat against it now is going to be like having more of your information out there. Like the only way to disprove an AI generated video of you doing something you didn't do is to say I have like evidence
that I was somewhere else.
I was somewhere else at that time. What do you have on your time? Your cell phone, right? So so some people are saying like having your location be tracked is now a defense mechanism against.
I think what
somebody
we're
can say you did some shit like that.
Going to have to do is we're going to have to just let people's private lives be their private lives. Like,
that's nice, but other people aren't going to want that.
Yeah, but I think we're going to eventually get to a point where so many people are getting blackmailed and so many people are getting lowballed and stuff like that. Then eventually you're going to have to be like, you know what? Are you good at your job? I don't care what you're doing outside of this job, as long as you're good at, and I hope we get to that point.
Yeah, that way people can just
where it's like, because I mean, for instance, even like Michael Jackson, when they were like all his shit that he was doing, I was like, I still like Michael's music. Like, I want to listen to Michael Jackson, you know. like now I'm not allowed to listen to Michael Jackson anymore. Like I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's strange.
Like, if you're a crazy good inventor and you like have some horrible background, but you invented the cure to like cancer or something, like. I'm not going to not use the cure to cancer
just because you're bad. Yeah, absolutely.
You're a terrible person.
Yeah, like, I feel like people still bump, old Kanye, despite what Kanye has become now.
Yeah.
I talk about that
and
too often.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I miss old Kanye. I'm sorry about what happened to Kanye. I wish Kanye was feeling better.
Yeah. Kanye needed Kanye in his life to make him more Kanye.
But he had to live his life to become Kanye. So it's like the good that came from it might result in the bad. Like I don't want to say he's going through bad, but he's going through what?
Like a paradox?
No, not paradox. It's just life. People got to go through things, and sometimes they don't end great. Like Franklin on whatchamacallit. I just saw some. I've been seeing clips of what's that show called? Snowfall. About the dude plays Franklin, a drug dealer trying to get his family out of the suburbs.
She crawled through.
Yeah, on the screen every time, on the camera every time. So and just like he was going through the life trying to be a drug dealer and like was trying to get his family out of the hood and all this other shit, like respectable thing, like goal, right? But he was doing some crazy shit to get it started. And at the end, spoiler alert for Snowfall. If that's even the name.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know what
okay, he becomes a crackhead at the end, right? So he falls, right? And maybe he brings himself up later, but they ended off of him falling. Right, his family was arrested or in jail, and he inevitably failed. But it was a still important story. Like sometimes you gotta fall, sometimes you gotta get back up.
Yeah, I mean, man, this world's just going to shit. And in my opinion, I'm just trying to make as much money as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think this is a good place to raise children anymore. I do think overseas would be a better place. I would rather have children, live overseas, raise my children, send them to college in the U.S. To get that U.S. college experience, come over here, make money, but have them, their morals, their moral compass, their everything from another country, raised with that kind of belief system.
Like
not
that.
Only focus on yourself as an individual, raised in an environment where you are entitled and to yourself.
Yeah. I right now our plan for her because I definitely feel that, but I really don't like public school and what public school is doing.
Yeah, that's the only close second.
That's the private school, but then also there's families doing this pods thing where it's almost like a homeschool, just a little bit larger. It's like neighborhoods get together and do it. They all like get a teacher that they trust and multiple teachers to inform them, so they get it more like centered.
You should just get up and walk around. We can all see your head.
Yeah, you've already gone on the camera. Just walk through real quick. You don't gotta. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome back, moral support.
Yes.
So okay. Well, she's okay.
No, she just threw like this.
You put her on the couch.
No, she woke up when I came.
Oh, okay. Well, we're about to wrap up, but
okay.
So,
did you want to play a couple rounds of Street Fighter before we get off?
Yeah, for sure. But just to mention real quick, yeah, we can get it set up. Do you want to stream on your Twitch, and I can stream your stream?
Yeah. There's a controller for you.
So there's parents are doing these things called pods since basically COVID.
Gotta go to add user, by the way. I don't.
Got you. You need to be guest.
You can do play as one-time guest, quick play. Yep.
Got you. Oh, have you not done the tutorial yet?
Yo, I just got the game and just installed it.
You gotta go through. I think you might be able to skip it. Press doesn't start. Quit. Yeah. Yeah, 101.
All right.
Yeah, what's up?
This is last night.
Who's that? Let's go. I'm going crazy. I got you. She's showing up for the show.
All right.
Like when we recorded the
Right.
video, she was going crazy.
I'm gonna try.
No, the little picture.
Oh, yeah, they might work on those. She like they went in on the email girl.
I like the animation though. Definitely.
Wait,
What do you mean on
For
Street Fighter?
I like the fight animations.
they made it colorful?
she was definitely like my character back in Ultra Street Fighter 4.
You might like her. They definitely changed her a little bit. Is there anybody that I?
It just reminds me of like
might have to
playing
give
Sims
JP
on
on
PS2.
JP looks dope.
Yeah, he's
I agree. I do really like the styling of the game. It's definitely old school fighter. Def Jam icon, kind of like.
yeah. Especially with the intros and stuff. Yeah, Capcom actually tried to go for this. You can do the. You can change your face and directional, but.
All right, I'm gonna have to like look at the skills real quick.
Go for it. I can just chat it up while you.
Okay, command list.
So Street Fighter 6, y'all. If you like it, let me know what you like about it. Who's your character? Because it's been cool, man. It's been fun. Let me share the
fuck?
screen. Do that, 'cause I did not do that.
Okay, she got the Fusion.
She still got her Fushang engine. They've changed her moveset
What
a
is
little
modern?
bit.
What does that even mean?
So, okay, this is the game changer in this game. So, you know how usually you need to do inputs?
Yeah.
Like quarter circle and all that? They've added in a modern control where you just do a direction and pressing the Y button. Yeah, and that'll give you a super or a special move.
That's whack.
Yeah, so they've tried to make it easier for people that don't know the whole quarter circle. movements to get some good level play time in without having to learn that. So I like it as a way to get people into the game, but I've seen a lot of stuff saying like it may change the game completely for some characters and for a lot of characters.
What improvements can you say that you've seen in the game that you like?
Improvements from like Street Fighter 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. The colors. I think them. Oh, you ready to go?
I'm just trying to. So these triggers don't do anything.
Are you on regular or are you on modern?
How do you
You
switch
might
it?
have to change it. So go to shit. Yeah, so that's your avatar, but you need to change it right here for the fight.
That was controls, right?
Yeah, they don't offer you a lot here because we're in a match. I think you have to change it outside of the match. So we can just back out of here real quick.
Yeah, that's really whack.
Yeah, maybe character select. Yeah, that's something people. So control settings. Yeah, you're on modern. I might have been too. Now I think about it. Yep, sure was. Yep, you gotta check that out. And they have dynamic for people with like fight sticks and stuff, and different fight pads.
Yeah, I actually hate
no.
that about fighting games. Again, this is like them adjusting it to the casual. Like, no, make the casual people have to learn how to play a fighter.
Yeah, can't have the easy mode out.
Yeah,
like
and then we need to. That way, it keeps the fighting game community alive. People who work to get good at fighting games buy fighting games.
Yeah, yeah, for real. Ooh,
hey,
nice. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he has a lot of like zoning moves. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now though.
I'm just like, what are my other moves? Fuck.
Oh, there you go.
And Antonella said, "Can we do Sunday?"
Oh.
Because I have practice Sunday after we do practice. We should go.
Okay.
So you want to come to practice?
Yeah, sure. Oh.
I guess you can't jump back and do that anymore.
Yeah, they changed up some more shit. Ooh. Yeah, that one.
How do I do my little spin wheel? Is that not a thing anymore?
The Shoryuken.
Let me see. Fuck, I'm so used to playing Zelda. Circle is like the
one under the Shashisho.
I want to do the little spin thing.
Yeah, I think it might be the one.
Does she have the pinwheel thing?
Yeah, I think it's the
forward down.
Yeah.
Forward down diagonal punch.
Yeah, sure you can move.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, that's cool now.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm liking it.
It looks good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they have a lot of. So they have like the parries now. That's our 2 buttons, and then they have this like drive impact. It takes a couple hits. Every character has one, and like will leave people stunned. So they try to give some more features, like kind of like Third Strike has. It definitely makes like clutch ass moves really cool.
Ah.
Ooh, nice. Ooh. I actually don't know what that does. Just open it out. Nice. Man remembers how to play Street Fighter. Ooh.
I tried. No.
I don't know how to trigger those.
I need to like learn someone's moves because her moves are completely different from.
Yeah, that's how I feel about DJ. They changed DJ, like not completely, but they made it.
I'm supposed to be streaming this. Let me go to the stream.
Yeah, hop in on the stream. Do a couple rounds real quick. But yeah, man. I feel like America definitely has its faults, but I do like it here. Definitely gonna travel though. We definitely wanted to travel, see different countries, meet different people, see the world. Because I feel like that's not something my parents really did with me as a kid. It was like we went places, but I was young. I appreciated those times too, for sure. When we did go, I just would want more for her.
That's more than an average kid.
Yeah, I agree. It was a lot. Yeah, for sure. I just would want more for her, more opportunities to see the world. I'm definitely not saying I didn't have a good amount.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh shit.
I see 4 houses or 4 walls in my house, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah, I definitely.